there. I want to do a little follow-up video for one of our MBA members. Follow up on the previous firemaking video that I did, specifically with our Mountain Bushcrafter Alliance members in mind. And again, this one is also made more specifically for our members. I will be sharing it on my YouTube channel, so it'll be a public video. But before we get into the specifics of making a fire using a Firesteel, the one I did before was using a match. The same build-up process is necessary regardless of what type of ignition source we use. This one I'm going to use a Firesteel. Now, before we do that, I want to talk about another issue, one that involves safety. One of the things that helps in making a fire is being able to produce some type of small fuel material. And I particularly enjoy using an axe or a hatchet for this process. I'm not a big fan of batoning. I do it occasionally if I need to, but that's really not my thing. I would much prefer to use an axe for the job that an axe is designed for. Now, a lot of times you see people splitting wood this way with an axe, hitting it on the end, sticking it in the wood, and splitting it down. I don't like to do that. For one reason, you can miss and you can chop yourself in the hand, and if your axe is sharp, you've got a nasty gash. And in a woodland situation, or in a situation where medical assistance is a long way away, you can be in serious trouble. There's a better way, at least I think it's a better way, to split stuff like this. And it's really simple. Instead of hitting it on the end, get a grip on it, lay your chopping tool on top of it, rest the handle, and then just simply give it a couple of licks and twist it, and you've got your split wood. And you can do that 3 or 4 times, and you've got some good wood here to work with. And that's particularly important in a wet wood situation. All of this was selected or collected from standing dead wood. The little smalls, my little kindling material, graduating up to a little larger, and then to something that's a more substantial fuel wood. Firesteels are a great modern rendition of the primitive flint and steel. And modern Firesteels come in just an assortment of shapes and sizes, anything from something small, tiny, to something like this UST Firesteel. This one is, it's made a lot of fires. Something that's easy to carry in my pocket. It's something that would be easy for you to carry in your purse, in a small emergency kit in your car or your truck, whatever you drive. Something handy to have around. This is a Firesteel brand, and I have other Firesteels as well. As something of a favorite source for making a fire, other than a match or a Bic lighter, the Firesteel is probably my favorite. That's the one I carry with me as part of my everyday carry, regardless of what I've got on. If I've got on dress pants, I've got a Firesteel in my pocket. If I've got on jeans, I've got a Firesteel in my pocket. If I'm walking around Walmart, I've got a Firesteel, in my pocket. It's a great tool. It works in all sorts of weather. It'll get a fire going. Now, we're talking about making a fire with wet or damp material. As I said, this has all been collected from standing dead wood. If something is laying flat on the ground, don't try to use that. Don't try to make a fire with it. If it's a limb laying on the ground that has branches or sticks sticking up that are off the ground, those are suitable. Anything larger in the woods that has fallen, where you can easily harvest small stuff and gradually work your way up, is good to use. Now, if I hit this with a Firesteel, it wouldn't do anything. But what we're going to do, we're going to use some of this fat wood and process it down a little. The first thing I'm going to do is with the back of my knife, which has a sharp 90, I'm simply going to scrape it. Scrape that stick of fat wood, that stick of lighter, and get some little light, fluffy shavings off of it. This is what I'm going to use to initially catch the spark and begin the fire making process. Get that flame going so that I've got something that will ignite my tinder, and the tinder will ignite my smalls, my other smalls. That's a graduated step up. And one of the things, not only that little fine, hairy stuff, I like to make a few, some would call it feathers, little feather sticks, a few little shavings like that, thin, easily ignited. Now I've got a nice enough little pile there to begin this process. I'll set that over to the side. I've also got some smaller pieces that I've already splintered up, and then a little bit larger. When everything is damp, as this is, it generally requires more of the fat wood. Now what I'm going to do, I've caught this on a piece of bark, piece of pine bark. As it dries out, it's going to burn quite nicely. I'm going to use the sharp 90-degree spine. This particular Firesteel comes with a little striker that you can use, but I'm going to just use my knife since I've got it out and I've got it in my hand. And I'm going to lay it down here and get some. And there it is. Sometimes one strike, sometimes 10. That's the way it works. Now, while I've got this going, I want to take some of these other little small sticks of lighter and feed this fire that we've already got going. I don't want to suffocate it and put it out. But I want to give it some more fat wood to feed on. Stack it in there so that it has air space. And then start layering on my little small stuff, little kindling sticks. Some of these are about the size of a pencil lead, some are a little bigger. layering them around. And gradually enlarging the size of the wood that you're putting on there. As I mentioned in that other video, I prefer this TP or pyramid style lay, especially with damp marginal material, because it creates a chimney effect. Pulling that heat up in there, and not only is it burning the wood down low, it's also drying out the wood up higher. So it's serving multiple purposes for us. And now, a little bit of extra of this tucked in, a little extra of the fat wood. Some people call it lighter, some people call it fat wood. Anymore, I don't know what to call it except some really good stuff to get a fire going. Let's add a few of these that I split. And what we've got here now, folks, is the makings of something that will keep us warm in cold weather. Not only will it keep us warm, it'll cook our food, it'll boil our water, it will chase the bugs away. Mosquitoes don't like smoke. It'll cook our food, keep us warm, chase the mosquitoes away, boil our water, and it's also a great source of comfort, especially when it's dark, you're in the woods, and your surroundings come alive with the nightlife of the woods. That fire is really important. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one.